part of Digital India, the Prime Minister has set this goal of creating a $1 trillion digital economy by 2025. I wonder if you could give us your assessment on what more needs to be done to bring a vision into reality as part of this transformation. And there's a lot of companies, individuals, and frankly, governments wondering, can they be a partner with India? How do we fit into that story?
So I would say that thanks, Richard, about this particular question, because when we are talking about New India or taking India forward, this becomes a relevant question that can we go forward and get ahead of some of our neighbors, or at least compete with them without digitization process. So answer is quite clearly no. We need to put in this infrastructure in place, and nothing more than COVID pandemic has shown us that the way forward is through this route. But for achieving this route, the route is slightly treacherous in terms of investment. It's heavy on investment, and access to internet becomes very, very important. So BharatNet is one which is a scheme launched by the government of India. Then Gram Panchayats through PM Vani, and internet needs to be offered through public distribution officers, so that some kind of equitable mechanism is in existence. But the other side of the problem is that digitization has also shown us our vulnerability. So there have been all kind of illegal activities, cyber thefts, etc., a loss of money, loss of income. MSME sector, if needs to be formalized, a whole lot of them who are not exposed to net, they have to be exposed to it. So that needs to be worked at. And in addition, the supply chain mechanism. So when we are discussing Quad, we are discussing sovereign nations, we are discussing amongst the democratic nations. And the biggest threat, of course, is the sovereignty of each and every one of us. And that sovereignty is threatened by some countries in the world, and one country in particular, which is a major role-playing country when it comes to global supply chain. And that global supply chain, we saw what can happen if one ship gets stuck physically in Suez Canal for 1 week, 7 days, what kind of mayhem can be caused. And if you don't get microchips to other software parts in electrical supply systems, you know what all can happen. And thus, building on each one of us capacity, India has a huge capacity in terms of production, because we have skilled manpower, we have great many resources, and technically sound democratic environment. Uh, what we don't have, where I think US must face up to the credit of building China. And your own report of 87, 89 shows that it was none other than US which transferred its technology, knowing very well that a nuclear country which has got different ways of working, and yet the entire supply chains were shifted to that place, and the world is facing the music because of that. So I think some sort of investment in democracies need to be made, so that sovereignty of that country is protected. At the same time, business models accordingly are changed. And I would say, as an Indian, and most of you have a long-standing Indian connections, you worked at some stage or the other with India, you know it's still easy to work with India, and it's a long-term investment which you're putting in for mutual benefit. I think US has to rethink on those strategies and think in terms of production-linked incentive schemes, etc., which government is willing to offer. And thus, this particular issue can be handled better amongst all of us.